What's wrong? I am
Z-Boy.
What is up, LA Piranha, man? How you doing, y'all? So yeah, I'm here today with Blue. He just did checked out Code Geass. So we probably gonna have like multiple streams of Code Geass because it's a GOAT series. You know, probably can't do everything like in 1 hour, which is probably the time span what we'll have. But yeah, we'll do some more later.
Right. Code Geass was one of the best series and worst series I've ever read. That ending, I'm not even going to beat around the bush or lie. I cried. I legit cried. Tears fell from my eyes. I was so sad. Especially when you saw Nunnally just crying on Lelouch's dead body. I just, almost died as well.
Yeah. It's considered one of the top 10 saddest anime deaths. A lot of people consider it saddest anime deaths, and yeah. I guess my first question would be, who is your favorite character?
Oh, who is my favorite character? That's hard. It's either Cece or Callan. I'd have to go with Cece though. Cece was just pretty awesome. Like Cece, she was an immortal witch. I kind of wonder what happened to her because she was in the cart at the end, so she was still immortal.
My favorite character is obviously Lelouch. The coolest character, the most developed. He has one of the most, both in English and Japanese, he has the most unique voice actors. His power is dope. His plans were cool.
Right. His plans were a GOAT.
Yeah.
They were top tier.
Yeah.
Let me turn. Would you mind if I turn that question on you? Who's your least favorite character?
You know what? This is a hard one, Nina.
Oh, yeah. I hated Nina. Just looking at her face made me want to jump through the screen and punch her. The Heart was such a snake. But I'd have to say my least favorite character was Suzaku because he was such a snitch. And he was accusing Lelouch of lying. He lied about his dad. Then he was saying he hated Lelouch and wanted to kill him.
Yo, Sasaku's trash.
I know, he's trash. And then he was saying, I hate you, Lelouch. And then he's crying when he killed Lelouch. And I was felt so bad for Lelouch because his whole life was just a life of lies. Even when he died, he was lying that he was evil. He would lie to his allies that he was their enemy, and lie to his enemies that they were his allies. It was just you had to feel bad for that guy.
Okay, here's the thing, right, about Suzaku. Listen, okay. To be fair, it took me 100 times rewatching it to actually like Suzaku, but I kind of feel for, not really feel for him, but I don't hate him. I felt bad for him. Even the first time when Yuffie died, I don't hate him. I don't really like him. I don't think he's that great of written as a character. He's decent. He's all right, but he's nothing compared to Lelouch when it comes to being a great written character, in my opinion.
Suzaku, I completely understand his line of thought and how he got to what he was and what he was thinking when he did all that stuff, but it doesn't change the fact that he trashed. He's a snitch. He snitched Lelouch to the Emperor.
He literally mind raped his best friend.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He's trash. And then he killed him at the end. And of course he was crying, but we all know he wanted to kill him the whole time.
Nah, I mean, he did, but at the same time, it was still his friend at the end.
Yeah.
So I feel it was weird with Suzaku. Suzaku got the punishment he always wanted because he always kind of got away with the stuff he did, and he hated that he got away with it, and so he wanted to be punished, and that's how come he became Zero for the end of all time.
Right.
Lelouch was oh yeah, the world doesn't need me, and the world is better out without me, so he took himself out, but.
Yeah, that was basically assisted suicide, which was kind of sad. But the one I really felt for the most in this entire series is Nunnally. Once it hit Nunnally, it was really hard for her fighting her brother. And then once Suzaku or Zero easily just bypassed all those guys when he should not have been able to. Because you can make fun of Jeremiah or Jeremiah, whatever you want to call him, as much as you want and say he's a meme, but that guy was not weak. He was not weak. And Zero just getting past him that fast. And once Suzaku killed Lelouch, and it just hit her, and she just started bawling, and she was just like crying on his dead body. And everybody around her was just cheering like, "Yay, yay, yay!" And she's just bawling in the middle of it. I was just like, I could barely take it.
You know what's funny? I mean, Jeremiah actually let Suzaku get past because he was smiling. And
he did.
Yeah.
And he said, "Go on, young Zero," or something.
Yo, I watched it so many times. I know exactly what he said.
Yeah.
That's bad, but he said he's an onward match night. Every single time I cry, I don't know why I keep watching it. But
I know. You
like
can't not cry.
Yeah.
Like all I gotta say is, for the people who watch Code Geass and the people who haven't watched Code Geass, put respect on Lelouch's name. Like, as much respect as you can get, and then even more.
I mean, even if you think the series is a little overrated, Lelouch as a character is definitely like top tier.
He is definitely top tier. Like, I still like One Piece and stuff a bit better than it, just because even though Lelouch is more well written than any of the characters in that, like, I like some lighthearted stuff better sometimes, but like Lelouch is probably one of the best written characters I have seen. Like, that's better than lots of Shakespeare characters, let's be honest.
Yeah, to be honest, Shakespeare's a little overrated, but we're not gonna get into that.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
Here's the thing, right? A character design doesn't have to be super complex, even though his words are kind of complex to some extent. It has to be memorable, and like Lelouch has a very memorable character design. Like when you see him, you know who he is.
Right.
Like he doesn't look like any generic like MC. You know who Lelouch is right when you see him. You know his school outfit, his Zero outfit. There's no other anime character that looks like that, and that's like, so awesome.
You know, Orihime from Bleach, I forget what the other girl was. I just blanked out on her name. But then there was this other lesser-known anime that Orihime and her looked almost exactly the same. And people were getting them confused. You can't do that with Lelouch. Lelouch looks like Lelouch.
Facts.
Like, there's nobody else who looks like Lelouch. And you gotta respect that.
Yeah. And then, like, the meaning behind his, just the whole meaning behind Zero, like the whole dang Suzaku became the Knight of Zero, and then the Zero helmet looks like a chess piece, like the top of the chess piece. That shit is so awesome. And
the Zero symbol, like the symbol that Zero became, was so well written, and like if there was actually a Zero, that's like exactly how it would play out.
Yeah, and then plus, I didn't catch this, but I've seen someone's reaction to Code Geass, and they was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," because when Dietar has said Zero, you mean like nothing? I just took that. I didn't take that to heart. And the person bought something basically means like zero as in, because you know how everybody was called numbers.
Right. Yeah.
So he's
saying, I just got that.
He's basically saying he stands with everybody. He isn't a number.
Right.
Zero. That's awesome. Lelouch is his voice actor. Flame.
That voice actor. Lelouch's voice was gold. And like, you know, when you just saw the moments where he went from cool and calm into completely psychotic.
Yeah.
Like for at least a little bit, like that voice actor killed it. The writer killed it. Like Lelouch, that voice acting was top tier.
Right. Like when he was up in the C's world with his father and stuff, and his father was talking about, you know, how Nolly is trash and like his ideas are trash. He said, "I will not let you freak. Hold up. I would not let you call that a lie over my dead body." Like that shit was fucking. That was awesome, bro. I don't know if you understood that whole thing, the whole Seas World thing.
What it seemed like to me, I didn't quite get what they were trying to do, but what I took it as, remember Naruto Infinite Tsukiyama? I think it was called. Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me.
That's pretty much what it was. It just was like more philosophy and more complex sounding, but that's pretty much what it was.
Well, you got a feel for Lelouch though. Like he was so like obsessed with avenging his mother, and it turns out she was just evil as the best of them.
That's trash, bro. That sucks.
Yeah, it really does. Like the reason the author did that to drive in the point that Lelouch lost every single possible thing, even good memories of his own dead mother, who wasn't even dead. He was like the epitome of a tragic hero, and like I kind of felt bad, like the resistant people, like they're thinking Lelouch is gonna kill them, and then when that happens, and it just all clicks in their minds, and you see them be like, "Oh crap." Like, you could just see that in their faces.
Right.
Like, they were just like, we got conned one last final time.
Like, he actually had a lot of character development. Like, he wasn't always, like, as heroic as he was at the end of the series. At first, he was, like, selfish and he just wanted revenge, and he didn't really do things. He did it just for Nolly's sake. Eventually, you know, he did it for everybody's, but...
Can we talk about how Lelouch kissed Cece, Callan, and Shirley? But just going into Lelouch and Shirley's relationship, that was pretty sad, bro. That was pretty sad. And like Rollo, like when Rollo took Shirley out, like Rollo was like up there in selfishness with Nina, intentionally taking out Lelouch's closest friends so he could be Lelouch's only emotional support. Like that was trash, but like the thing with Lelouch, I know, like Lelouch. Another thing about Lelouch's characters is whenever anything bad happens to him, he lies to himself and turns it and acts like he planned the whole thing. When Shirley dies, he thanks Rollo and acts like that's what he wanted, even though he's dying inside. When he accidentally told Euphemia to kill all the Japanese, he acts like he intentionally did that,
right,
to get her to get sympathy, and like he never even told anybody, but those things were not intentional. He never wanted that, but he just acted like it and lied that that's what he wanted, even after he died, and nobody ever even knew that's not what he intended.
Yeah, Lelouch is like, I don't know, you know what an anti-villain is, or
yeah, I know. Yeah, anti-hero is like guys that like like heroes in very like dark, borderline villainous ways.
Yeah, an anti-villain is like a villain with a lot of heroic goals and personality traits and virtues.
Right.
You could either argue he's either one of them. You definitely can't say he's either like a complete hero or a complete villain. Definitely.
Right.
You can argue he's either one of those. And he definitely was a tragic, cause like when he was at his most evil, quote unquote evil, was like when he was like going through tragedy, you know. Like when something bad happened.
Right. Then he would just snap for a little bit. And like when Shirley died and he just goes and mows down all those scientists of the order and stuff.
I mean, low key that was messed up, but it wasn't like completely like they weren't like completely innocent. And then like when Yuffie died, when he had to shoot Yuffie or whatever, he had to do that pretty much.
Right.
That's when he went crazy too.
Right. Because like at that point, he accidentally told her, and he couldn't use his gas on her and make her stop. So he was like, he had to shoot her to stop her from killing everybody.
Yo, Mao was, bruh. Mao was cool. Like Mao was a cool kid. He's an interesting character.
Oh yeah, Mao.
Because Mao,
like I felt for Mao.
Yeah, they foreshadowed. They foreshadowed that with Mao. Like you know how he couldn't control his gas. Like I know a lot of people like to say it came out of nowhere. It was a little convenient. But like I feel like a lot of things have to be convenient in fiction. Sometimes.
Right, they do. Like Mao foreshadowed that would happen. That wasn't even convenient. Like it was a bit convenient at the time, but that was foreshadowed because Lelouch said after the whole thing with Mao that he would one day lose control of his gas.
Yeah, it just happened. The convenience comes not because it happened, but because it came at literally, not quite possibly, literally. The worst possible time ever, bro.
No,
like you know what?
I feel
it could just be like something. It could just something just chilling back at the Ashford Academy, right? They're just chilling at the school, and it's like he tells her, he just decides to tell her about his gas and be like, I can make you bake a cake, you know.
Right, that's all. Like, cause like he could have been like, or he could have said to like Rivals, I think. Like, I don't know how to say it because the way they were saying it was different than the English spelling, but I'm just gonna call them Rivals. Like, He could have just been saying to Revolves, "Hey, can you go drive me to my house or something?" And then Revolves would have just like driven him to his house. That was the exact worst possible time. Like, let's be honest, Yuffie was like the kindest soul in that series, except for possibly Nunnally. But I'd say Yuffie was kinder because Nunnally, like she was launching super nukes at people,
Yeah.
and that was the worst analogy. That like to tell somebody about your gas, that was the most morbid thing you could come up with.
Yeah, that's why it is a little convenient. I
Yeah.
mean, we know Lelouch kind of has a morbid like sense of humor, anyways. But you could argue that's because
Right.
of like his past,
Yeah.
his
Like,
backstory.
but,
Let's get into his backstory.
like the whole thing with his dad sending Lelouch and Nunnally away because he quote unquote loved them was trash. Like, dude, what about all your other kids then? Like,
Apparently, he just said he loved them the most, but like that's trash.
how
You're
many
supposed to love all
wives
your
do you
kids.
have?
You're supposed to love all your kids, bro.
Yeah, like, yeah, and he'd be like, he's sending his kids out to murder people and saying he doesn't care about, like, he could have cared less whether Schneisel got his head chopped off. Like, he didn't love Lelouch whatsoever. He was just probably saying that to impress Marianne.
I don't know. I think he loved Lelouch, but he cared about his plan 1,000 times more than he ever loved Lelouch. He didn't care enough, of course. But
Right.
he did try to choke his son right before he died. That's your last act. And you know, oh, I'm sorry, son,
Right.
for ruining your life. You know, I mean,
I'm gonna choke you.
yeah, he literally put his hands around his son's neck. I don't care what you say. He was desperate or whatever. I don't care what you say. That's
Yeah.
not cool.
Right.
Yeah, they cared about their goal a lot more than like, cause like Lelouch was like, see, that's what's. Oh man, I was gonna make a video about this a long time ago. What's the difference between a well-attended extremist and a sympathetic well-attended extremist? Lelouch is a well-attended extremist, and they also are. But Lelouch is a lot more sympathetic than them, not just because he has more camera time, but because of just shit. I lost my train of thought. Just because of just how it is, right? Like Lelouch, he never lost his humanity, really. He never lost caring about other people.
Right.
And he would go through tragedy that would make him like worse than he already was. He didn't like start off as just like, you know, telling my kids I don't care about them and sending them into a war zone, you know, where they could possibly die.
I have a question. Can we talk a bit about how Lelouch and the Resistance, like how trash they were to Lelouch?
Listen, once again, that's one of them examples where I watched like 1,000 times and then I got them. Listen, I think it was trash what they did, but I could see where they was coming from. Cause like, Lelouch did abandon them back in season 1. I mean, he did it for Nolly's sake, so it makes sense, you know. And I hate when people use like they try to say Lelouch is evil because really he cares about Nolly more. But when you really think about it from a human perspective, doesn't everybody care about the person they're closer to more than everybody else?
Because people are like, so like, you know how people are always like, who would you love more, the world or your family? But think about it from your perspective, your family is the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the reason I say what they did was trash is because
it was trash. I'm just saying.
What I'm saying, the reason what they did was trash is because it was just by fear. So now, yes, you know Lelouch has gas, right? One, your enemy told you all this, like gave you proof, but your enemy obviously isn't coming here to say, hey, let's be friends. He wants something from you, right? You can establish that. So if he tells you Lelouch has the power to control your mind, you do not know what he used it for and when he used it. So you do not automatically say the person who has got... Without this person, I would have been dead a long time ago. Literally. But because I know he has the ability to control people's minds, but I have absolutely no idea who he used it on or what he used it on for. Instead of making assumptions and just assuming that you were, if you confront him about it, you know that even if everybody knows he has gas, they can take precautions and they can have him cornered, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you know he has it, and of course Nigel would definitely be giving you anti-chaos stuff because Schnizel's trying to use you for something, and that was also obvious that Schnizel was trying to use them. So if you go up to him and you confront him about it, and you got that anti-gas stuff, we all know Lelouch can't run for crap. You have him cornered.
Loki has a running gag. Like he
Right.
has been shown to be able to run before. He's just not
No,
like
I mean,
super. It's just a joke that he's not like
right.
super strong or like But he can actually like he can do basic human stuff.
Right, he can.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, almost all these guys were more fit than him because he was the tactician, not the brawn. You could have him cornered and you could ask him about it instead of immediately trying to kill him.
That's facts.
That's why the reason it was trash is because they gave in to irrational fear, or maybe not irrational, but they irrationally attacked him out of overwhelming fear without using their brains. Like, I expected more from Toto. He's supposed to be the second smartest from Lelouch, basically. So, like, look.
I mean, it was just a way for the writers to try to be like,
right. It was another convenience.
Yeah, that shit was an ass pull, low key.
Yeah, it was.
Like, I get it though, cause Toto, like, you could argue, like, even though he's smart, he was kind of just like in his feelings, like, cause his people had died and stuff, and people who we don't care about. But yeah, and then plus it's kind of funny, like, if he uses Giaz on him, how would they be able to betray him in the first place?
The thing is, you can talk all you want and be like, we don't need Zero. No, you moron. You need Zero or you need Schnizel.
Low-key a little bit better if they would have betrayed him for someone who wasn't like one of the biggest reasons why people are all enslaved and killed and murdered. It would have been smarter. I wouldn't have liked it, but if they would have like betrayed him after the war was over, I wouldn't have liked it, but that would have made sense. So not only are they stupid, they also betrayed a character who, like, even though he has done like, no, scratch that. They have done just as horrible things as him.
And Callan, like, she was probably the most pure out of the army, but she was not pure by any means.
No, she was heroic.
Right?
She was heroic. She wasn't pure though.
Right. But like Callan, I guess she
roasted a lot of people alive. Let me see you burst, Britannia.
I feel like that was so obvious that he was just trying to get her not killed, and she kind of figured that out, but she was also caught up in her feels.
Right.
So, like...
I mean, to be honest, though, low-key, okay, everybody's caught up in their feels in the series. If people, like, were to take more rationally, a lot of things wouldn't happen. If Suzaku just understood that, sorry, no offense, but, like, a lot of people deal with death. But you don't deal with death by going around helping evil nation enslave people.
Suzaku is trash. Suzaku, he's the type of guy to work at a carpenter shop and say he's not a carpenter.
Yo, Suzaku's the type of guy to suck dick and say he ain't gay.
Exactly.
See, the difference is they both were hypocrites, but Lelouch realized he had to be a hypocrite because even though he was trying to stop, murder and stuff, to do that he had to commit murder. Yeah. And he had admitted. Right. That's why I always remember that scene in season 1.
Yeah.
He was like, when he was like, I don't have time to argue who's the bigger hypocrite here.
Like, how do you feel about Lelouch and Suzaku's relationship? Like, if you're comparing it to the other anime duos like Gon, Killua, Naruto, Sasuke, and I guess maybe Luffy, Zoro, like, do you think that one's better than the other ones?
I think that like, not in a sense when it comes to friendship, because they try to hurt each other a lot of times. But
their friendship was fractured, broken, shattered, non-existent by the end, really. Yeah. Well, it wasn't non-existent by the end. I feel like when Suzaku was crying when he stabbed Lelouch, it was more because of nostalgia.
Because Suzaku isn't heartless. Like, even you don't like him, he isn't like... Even Schnizel isn't a complete monster, because he's a monster. He's close. He's very close. The only person I think who's a complete monster in the series is that guy who literally just killed just because he loved killing. That one of the knights. It was a vampire Britannia.
Oh yeah. That dude. He trash. I'm glad he's dead. What about Vivi though? Vivi was kind of complete monster.
Vivi? Who's Vivi? What the hell?
There's
a One Piece stream?
No. Vivi as no Vivi. You know the leader of the Order after Cece left.
VV. V2?
Dude,
V2?
huh?
V2?
Huh?
V2?
No,
V2?
no. The blonde guy. He was what you call it? Um,
Charles's
King
brother?
Charles' brother. He promised Charles that they would never lie to each other. Then he murdered Charles' only beloved wife because he got jealous of her, who was also his accomplice in the plan that they were trying to create. Even if the plan is evil, she was still one of his only three comrades in the plan, and he just killed her because he thought Charles liked her better than him.
Yeah, to be a complete monster though, you have to literally have like no love and just completely just do things just for evil reasons. And so he still had loved Charles though. So like
Take a guess.
Charles was a
Any guess.
Charles was a
Yeah.
complete monster in the perspective of the series before we had learned that in some twisted way, even though it's horrible, in some twisted way, he was trying to do the right thing in some
Right.
strangely twisted way.
Like with Madara, like
It didn't stop him from being evil, but it took him out of the complete monster. So back to Lelouch, his backstory, it doesn't show much of it, but it is good for what it does show, and from what we know about it, in relation to his character and the reasons why he does stuff. His power
his
is
His gas was pretty lit, but like I liked other gases better than his. But his gas suited his character the best.
right.
If I had to say the best, the coolest, or best gas, I'd have to say it was Rolo's, even if it did stop his heart. His was definitely the most powerful gas. Besides, it was even more powerful than Charles because like Charles had to look in your eyes. Rolo would just stop time. Or not stop time, but stop your perspective of time and take you out. Like before Charles became immortal, Rolo could literally just stop time, so it doesn't matter if Charles has his gas on, because he can't do anything, and just kill him. Like Rolo could like kill anyone in the series in a heartbeat.
I mean, he probably has the most powerful without that drawback, but I don't know. The coolest, huh? I don't know if any is the coolest. I feel like Lelouch made his cool because of the poses he would do and like stuff like that.
Like the thing.
He
I
made
can't
it
do
cool
it, but
though. It wouldn't look cool in real life, but
like when he'd draw his hand over his eye.
yeah, but
and
it's
stuff.
actually a reason for that too. You know, the draw attention to
Right.
himself because they had to look him in the eye.
Like Lelouch is so deep. Like even the seemingly ridiculous things he did had a reason.
I low key had like Millie more than Shirley, but
Wait, what? Wait, what?
like I liked
Repeat
her
that?
as a character more than Shirley. Until Shirley died, that's when I really liked Shirley. Like
Wait,
I
what
like
did you
Shirley,
say?
but I feel like Millie should have been in Shirley's place instead. I feel like she was more like likable personality wise, and
She was.
yeah.
I like Millie, but like you know,
I mean, she wasn't really important to the story like that, but I feel like
right.
if she would have been better than like Shirley. Because Shirley actually had a hate fan base, kind of like Suzaku in season 1. Like I actually looked up, Suzaku in season 1 had a huge hate fan base, but
Right,
all,
different
but
stream,
all, but all Kogiya's deaths were like sad, like extremely sad, like some of the saddest deaths I've seen. Just the way it was written,
right.
the music and stuff. You know, also there's another reason I looked up, which makes sense. He's theatrical, right? Like this is the difference between him and Snizel and the way they do tactics. Snizel kind of does simple tactics, as in like they're just completely logical, and that's how he gains support. And that's
Right.
and Zero / Lelouch, he gains support by like putting up almost like a front of like supernatural charisma, like supernatural ability, which is why he would have to always be like so dramatic all the time because he built his whole thing off of like kind of like that. While Snyder had more just like simple to the point, be like, oh, well, you shoot this guy right here will, you know, work for us because he doesn't want to get shot too. While Lelouch would be like, oh, well, we'll have this guy shoot this guy to shoot this girl to get this other girl and get this girl, you know.
Right.
Like more dramatic. Like your organs just exploded. Like what? You know, it'd be something like that. You're stuck in here with me for all eternity. You know,
let me just ask you this: like the ending of Code Geass, did you see it coming until it did? Like, the thing is, remember when not Shirley, sorry, when Nunnally was like, the Damocles is gonna become the symbol of hatred for the people and get destroyed, and Lelouch walked away. Then I was like, oh, I know what you're about to do. But I tried to deny it until it actually happened.
yeah, a little bit,
I saw it coming as
slightly.
soon as Nunnally said that.
I didn't know if he was going. I didn't think he was going to kill himself. But I figured he was going to be like try to be like Sasuke or Chia. I didn't think he was going to kill himself.
Right.
I had a feeling.
Oh, he's pretty similar to Sasuke. They even both have eye powers. Lelouch can basically one-shot anybody in the anime universe. He has one chance to one-shot anybody, basically.
I wouldn't say that because there's people in the universe of Code Geass who could like overpower his ability. Like Nolly broke away from it, and then
No, but I mean, but if you notice, Nunnally and who was it, Euphemia, they both struggled, but in the end, they like Nunnally, she did it for a sec and then broke out of it. But if Lelouch's like, Shanae, kill yourself, like it in the time it takes them to break away, they would already be dead.
I mean, yeah, but I guess I would say that's because they're just humans. Like if like Goku has like a ridiculous amount of willpower. Like him and like when he was like in Vegeta mode or whatever, I forgot what mode it was. It was like
Y'all
he
know
was
I
like
haven't seen
candy,
Dragon Ball yet, right?
huh? Oh,
Y'all know I haven't seen Dragon Ball yet, right?
okay. Well, all right. We gotta get this man out of here, man. We gotta get this. No more streams for you. You can't come through anymore. I'm just playing.
I'm sorry.
I'm just playing. Loki. I want me some pizza tonight now. But yeah. Speaking of pizza, you know, C2 always ate pizza. Jesus. Pizza Hut.
Yeah, I know. Oh, Cece is really the best. Like,
It's funny because her
you
name is
know me,
CC. It's funny because her name is CC's like CC's Pizza.
right? Low key, dude. Though, when she was like forgot everything and was like a servant, I low key expected Lelouch to like seduce her. To be honest,
Like,
I really looked like he was about to.
Louis like, I command you to suck my dick.
That's what it really looked like he was about to do that though, because like he was peeping at him and he was being so kind and gentle. Like I really low key expected him to just like jump on top of her, and I was like, nope, never happened.
Low key, that's kind of rape, bro. Low key.
Low key, it
Like,
kind of is, but
that's almost like smashing a drunk chick. Like that's just not
yeah.
cool. But
Well, but I didn't even say use his gas. I mean, just like literally seduce her. It really looked like he was about to.
now he would seduce her. That'd been fine.
Yeah, I would.
Loki, I ain't gonna go into it, but cute girls, cute shy girls are kind of good to smash. But anyways, man, Lelouch, yeah, man, his character development, it was dope. He started out kind of like we didn't know anything about him. We thought he was just a regular high school student who just happened to be extremely smart, like anime does.
Yeah, like.
And well, actually his first. Oh man, Lelouch is so fucking awesome. He's so awesome, bro. Because this first episode pretty much told us everything we need to know about his character when you truly think about it. Okay, in his first episode, we seen him being smart, which is why they had the chess game. We also seen how his views kind of were of the world. And we also had hints that he was pretty tragic and a sad character deep down behind all his confidence. Like how he said, no matter how much you try, you can't change the world. And we also saw that even though he was super clinical and could kind of be like arrogant and rude, we still saw that he could be like heroic and have like good qualities about him. Like when he tried to save and he was the only person who went to go save the people in the wreck, which shows that, you know, unlike everybody else, like he has like a lot of he's willing to like go out of his way to help other people, which is what he did at the end of the series. And then also when he had that evil smirk, it showed that yeah, he may have some heroic qualities, but he can get pretty freaking dark, you know. So that was just a perfect character introduction episode. The first episode of Suzaku, one of the other reasons why Suzaku isn't as good as Lelouch because it was like, I mean, of course, it kind of did it because it was kind of like a fake out, you know, because we didn't learn until later that Suzaku was a lot more darker and a lot more hypocritical and a lot more effed up as a human being until like episode like 13 or something with the Mao thing. Yeah, then plus Also, oh man, another reason why Lelouch is dope. His
Cool.
name. When I look
Literally
up his, what's up?
yeah, go. I
Okay,
was saying literally every single thing about Lelouch is dope. I can't think of one thing that's not.
like literally his name. When you look up Lelouch, he's the only one who pops up. There's no other character ever named Lelouch.
Right, because I was actually the other day, I searched up Nami online, right? I forgot what it was, because I was like, nobody be named Nami, right? I searched up Nami, and then the National Alliance on Mental Illness comes up. So Nami, that there's some kind of organization. I guess that's a good National Alliance on Mental Illness is good, but like, there's gonna be no company called Lelouch.
Yeah, there's plenty of characters called Suzaku.
How epic is the name Lelouch, though? Just think about it. I am Lelouch v. Britannia, and I'm Luffy. Which one is
Lelouch
like?
Lampeach.
I know. Like
Lelouch
I
Britannia command you. That's how you said it.
right.
Japanese. Both the
I'm
Japanese and
Luffy.
English voice actors crazy.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. It's cool when the villains say it though. It's cool. It's cool when the villains say it. Monkey D. Luffy. It's cool
Right.
when the villains say it, but
Yeah.
let me tell you what Lampluche means. Suspicious red light. Specifically, the French.
Oh.
What's up?
Ha. No, you said Lamp means suspicious red light.
Lelouch Lampluche means suspicious red light. It roughly translates to suspicious red light.
Yeah, it's talking about his eye.
Yeah. Then there's more to it. It's specifically the French term it derives from is le louche, literally the suspicious one, or when taken with the surname, the suspicious red lamp such light. Okay, Lelouch in Latin could also be an adjective for Luscus, which means one-eyed.
Hmm.
He also has some puns too. Red light, as in red light district.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man.
Because he's a celebrate hero, and what that is basically a hero that like is like they understand romance and sex, but they don't really engage in it.
Right, but like red light district really like I was watching Maggie the other day and like they just really wanted to go to the red light district and stuff and I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, Lelouch,
Even though
Lelouch can
yeah,
mean
go on.
cloudy. Lelouch can mean cloudy, which can translate to the references of like his shades of gray his character can be in,
Right.
like morale wise. And Cloudy Lelouch is a French producer. Oh shoot, this is awesome. Lelouch is hold up. I don't know how to say this word.
Spell it.
FHONETIZED.
What? It looks like phonetized?
Okay, Lelouch can be phonetized as Ruru Shuri, which is a near inversion of Charles's phonetized, which is Shari. So in another when it's that attached, it can just be it's just an inversion. It's just a opposite of Charles, which is his father.
Oh, yeah.
It's 100 different meanings to his name.
Yeah. Code Geass is just a super in-depth series that just deserves much more respect than it gets.
Yeah, and so we'll go into that in the next one. We just decided to talk about Lelouch for this time. Anything else you want to say about Lelouch?
Not really. We kind of dissected this kid apart, even though I can't really be calling him a kid. He's like,
I mean, he's 18, but he's a man. He's a real man. But
Lelouch is the realest man in like I have ever seen in the anime thus far.
And you know what's so cool about Lelouch? He shows that you don't have to be a fighter to be strong. And I'm not just talking about this because he's smart. Like the things he went through would like break down like most people.
Right. Let's be honest here. Like if we're talking about me,
like literally
I would
forever. I'm not talking about them little times where it's like he'll get sad. I'm talking about like literally they'll be broken for the rest of their life. Like
no, I know. I'm saying I'm saying, you know when he got in the truck on the first episode and Suzaku got shot? I would be broken down for the rest of my life from just that. Okay?
Yeah.
Lelouch is just the GOAT, man.
Yeah, man. So yeah, peace, like and subscribe. I'll stay tuned for the next.
What's happening here?
I, Lelouch v. Britannia, command you.